My girlfriend was raped and got pregnant. Her mother won't let her abort. I'm breaking up. Circumstance. My partner was raped 2 months ago. It was carried out at a park. She refused to report it and had a major collapse, refusing to talk to authorities or go to the hospital, among other things. I couldn't make her do anything, so I simply remained with her. She's been in a bad mood ever since, and I've been there for her, at her side, listening to her and assisting her. We went to counseling and she understands I'm always available to her. I've been concerned since she has a history of depression. We discovered out she was pregnant last week. I was away on business for 2 months before the rape and was able to return early to care for her, so the child isn't mine. She is certain that it is the rapist's. As a result, we had a conversation. She is an ardent Catholic. We had planned to have the baby aborted, but after speaking with her mother, she has opted to retain the baby, claiming that it is not the baby's fault. Informed her unequivocally that I would not assist in the raising of a child by a man who had raped her. She sobbed and pleaded with me not to go. I told him she was the one who had to make the decision. Either she kept the baby and I left, or she aborted the baby and I stayed. I'm not going to let this go. Because she didn't want any of those things to happen, I informed her we were done. Was I mistaken? Update #1. I got a phone call from my girlfriend yesterday. She was sobbing and begging me to listen to her. I assured her I still cared about her and would listen to what she had to say. She informed me that a few days after I told her we were through, she contacted her mother to discuss it. Previously, she had made up her mind to have an abortion, but when she talked to her mother, she was advised that she should not have an abortion and that I was manipulating her. Her mother went on to add that if she had an abortion, she would no longer consider my girlfriend to be her daughter. My girlfriend contacted her mother after I had left her to tell her what had happened. My partner expressed a strong desire to terminate the pregnancy, and her mother warned her that if she did, it would be the last time they spoke. My girlfriend claimed she sobbed over the phone, and her mother kept asking her what she was going to do. My partner then replied she didn't know, and the discussion came to an end. Then she began texting. After a few hours of deliberation, my girlfriend texted her mother to inform her that she was planning to get an abortion. She was then silenced. Then my girlfriend phoned and told me everything. In 3 weeks, she will get an abortion. I spoke to my girlfriend about it, and we both agreed that I had not manipulated her in any way, and that she appreciated that I stood firm because if I hadn't, she would have had a kid who would remind her of the worst moment of her life. Her words, not mine. She went on to add that I am the greatest thing that has ever happened to her, and that she knew she could get through this even if she no longer had a mother as she had me. At this moment, I broke down. I'm madly in love with her. In reality, even though I knew I detested, I'd probably gone back to her and raised the kid with her. I started the original topic more to gauge support than anything else, to see whether I had made the correct choice. I'm really glad things worked out the way they did. Also, shame on any mother who prioritizes religion before her kid. They're friggin' insane. Update #2. I was hoping to return to this blog after the abortion, which is still set for 2 weeks, but I thought I'd give you an update on some recent occurrences from a mother in the depths of Satan's rectum. On Saturday, I opened the door and was confronted by 2 police officers. They inquired whether I was who I said I was, and I said yes. They then informed me that they were hunting for my girlfriend. I summoned her and the officer informed me that he needed to speak with her. The cops then separated up, with one taking the girlfriend to the living room, which we let them inside, and the other bringing me to my bedroom. The cop who took me began questioning me about how long my girlfriend had been here, if she had any further interaction with anybody, if she had ever left the house, and a few additional questions. I responded and then inquired as to what this was all about, but the police just said that they had gotten a complaint to check in on the girlfriend. When I inquired who had reported, the officer claimed he couldn't disclose. After a time, the other cop finished his work and they both departed. My girlfriend informed me that as soon as they departed, she was questioned bluntly whether she was in danger and if I had been hurting her. She was also questioned about if she was being detained against her will. Of course, she said no to everything. She said that the cops got a call from her mother, stating that she was in danger and that I was violent to her. I was furious. I instantly said that I would file charges against her. For what purpose? I'm not sure. Harassment, most likely. My girlfriend begged me not go, saying that everything will blow over and that she simply needed time to cool down. She sent the police to my residence in order to have me arrested. What kind of logic is that? If I am arrested and charged, I may lose my job. What in the world is she thinking? I informed a buddy that if the mother did anything like this again, I would file charges. So on Sunday, the girlfriend decides to speak to mom about not doing anything like this again. They spoke for around 2 minutes before I started hearing them. I stepped into the room right away and noticed my girlfriend weeping, still clutching the phone to her ear. I took the phone from her grasp and held her for a few moments while I heard hello on the phone. Then I placed it on myself and yelled, "You're a disgrace," of a mother before hanging up. Then I held her for what seemed like an hour before we began conversing. The mother was telling girlfriend that if she has the abortion, she will never see the mother, her brother, or her deceased father, who is in heaven, despite the fact that he died a drink-violent alcoholic who beat girlfriend. But hey, repents your sins at death, am I right? Because girlfriend would be going to. I told my girlfriend that if she was going to hell, she should save me a seat and we'd be nice and toasty together. Her grin makes me happy. What do you think I should do about the mother, if anything? My statements to her will undoubtedly elicit some responses. Third update. I simply wanted to keep everyone up to speed on the latest developments in this situation. This is my last update. The abortion was performed a few days ago. My partner went to a counselor and spoke to a nurse about why she wanted an abortion in the weeks leading up to it. She was also tested for STI. She was negative. She proceeded with the abortion after receiving the all clear. It was completed satisfactorily a few days ago. They chose the surgical abortion approach, which involves sucking the pregnancy out using a vacuum. The girlfriend said that it was rather painless, and she was able to return home after just a few hours. She screamed and cried when she got home. She claims that a big weight has been removed from her shoulders, and she can now look forward to moving on with her life. We took a week off from work and went camping yesterday. It rained. She spoke on how tough life might be at times, but she was pleased things turned out the way they did because even though things were horrible, she came out the other side stronger than before. She's incredible, guy. Seriously. Mother's Day update. So my girlfriend got a call from her mother, who inquired as to whether or not she had completed the abortion. My girlfriend and I agreed that if mom calls, she should either hang up or give it to me. In this case, she responded, didn't know what to say, and handed it to me. I informed mom that the abortion had gone wonderfully, and she cursed at me for nearly a minute. I then remarked, "How Jesus of you," and she hung up. My girlfriend didn't think it was amusing. Anyway, that's all I've got. Best wishes to everyone in their life. Also, if you're going to write me and trash me through PM, be warned, I've already murdered a kid. Story 2. Caught my 23 MGF 22F of 5 years cheating on me with my friend. I'll do my best to make this as brief as possible. We've known this girl, let's call her Jen, since we were youngsters. We shared a house for a few years. We had so many wonderful moments and toured the globe together. She was always indulged and lavished with gifts and attention. I introduced her to many better things in life. I was certain she was the one. She opted to go across the nation for graduate school around the beginning of the new year. She was dissatisfied in our hometown. Because my job can be done from anywhere and I had acquaintances in her target location, I chose to relocate there. I say that, but the major reason I relocated was because I was completely smitten by this girl. I couldn't take the notion of being far away. As I previously said, Jen and I have been together since we were children. We had our share of toxic circumstances, many of which we regretted as we got older together. We were always able to work through our differences, but her father couldn't get over some of our history. He never liked me or forgiven me for a specific instance in which I was disrespectful to him. As a consequence, Dad refused to allow us to live together in this new city. He financially supports Jen and has gotten her a wonderful downtown apartment. I'm well off and have my own apartment approximately 20 minutes away. The first 5-6 months in this new place with each other were great. We had a lot more fun than in our hometown. Every night, we'd sleep over at mine or her house. I met new acquaintances, ate delicious cuisine, and created a slew of beautiful new memories. I had always been enamored with her, but it seemed like a new flame had been ignited in our relationship. The sex was fantastic, and overall enjoyment was high. It was invigorating. I had to return home last month to take care of some business. I asked Jen if she would mind watching my dog, who is basically her dog, and she easily agreed. I departed when she dropped me off at the airport. As the week progressed, she became more frigid through text, but I didn't think anything of it. When I arrived home, she wasn't responding to my messages or phone calls. When she eventually arrived, she put my dog off in my driveway and didn't say anything. She promised to return later, but she never did. Instead, she contacted me, saying she had been thinking a lot. She is unsure if she wants to be in a relationship anymore, and she needs time and space to reflect. I had a nagging feeling I was missing something. She had never behaved in this manner for no cause. After a few days, when she eventually responded, she apologized. We met, and I brought her to many $400+ meals, went her shopping, and bought her costly flowers, all in the sake of putting a smile on her face and reminding her how much she matters to me. She said that she was still thinking about things, but I had the impression that we were at a good position. After a few more days, we began sleeping over with each other again. I searched through her phone since I had a feeling something wasn't right about her doing all of this. She had indeed been messaging a friend of ours, whom I gladly introduced her to, calling him B and expressing her desire to. They even took a photo with their tongues down each other's throats. They were also making fun of me. Jen was taking screenshots of my texts, pleading for her attention and giving them to him. I jolted her up in a dress. She was just hilarious, crying and apologizing for how terribly she has behaved. How and the only thing that matters to her and the only thing she's ever cared about. I locked myself in my room and wept myself to sleep. She never went home and spent the whole night sleeping on my sofa. It occurred 3 times, she alleges. The first time was while I was out of town, and the second and third times were after I returned. Apparently twice, once when she was ignoring me and once in between the wonderful meals and shopping excursions. I really do feel like a clown. I really need advice. I don't have many friends to whom I can turn, and I'm not very close to my parents. Jen was my best and only friend, but everything about this circumstance makes me ill to my stomach.